Hey guys, in this podcast I talked with Mestre Edan about how to train smart, how to give feedback as a teacher, how to deal with stress in the roda, and much more. Enjoy.
So we're gonna start on time. Not usual for capoeiristas, but we're gonna start on time. So I'm very excited to be here with Ganji Mestre Dan. It's a great honor to have this talk, and I'm glad to have all of you guys watching. I can see there's people from all over the world and much more people coming. Um, my first memory of Mestre Dan is my teacher, Mestre Tamar. She took me to a batizado where Mestre Dan proposed to Noah engagement.
Wow.
And the same batizado, Mestre Sasuna was there, and I remember him signing everybody's shirts. And my second memory was Mestre Dan came to give workshop in the academy of my teacher, and he told her while we were at the water break, he told my teacher that he wants to steal me and my brother to his group.
Very common thing in capoeira. Yeah.
Afterwards, I got to know him better in the instructor course. Mestre Dan has been conducting an instructor course for many years now, and I think it's a very important thing that made the capoeira in Israel develop in such a way. And so there I got to spend a month together with Mestre Dan, Mestre Cueca. And afterwards, my teacher, Mr. Tamar, she sat me and she told me, now I want you to go and train with Mestre Dan. And so I did. And I got to spend about 6 or 7 years training in Mestre Dan's academy, taking the adolescents and the adults classes, being there every day. I remember coming back from high school and calling saying, hey, Master, are you teaching today? Can I come help you? And Master Dan always said, yeah, sure. And that was a lot of, there was a lot of teachings over there of, of capoeira and of teaching capoeira. It was a very important time for me. Um, so I present to you Mestre Dan. Thank you.
Uh,
Um, Thank you for being here. I prepared some
uh,
questions, and
okay.
also the audience, whoever's watching, you can write me in the chat if you have any questions. I might take them. So I really yesterday you gave a class, and I took it actually. I was without camera, but I did it, and you said it will be short and intensive, and
Yeah. But I say it every class. So if you're
so.
gonna tell everybody, oh, it's gonna be a long class, who's gonna stay? Short class, guys. Concentrate. Short and intensive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyway, what was the question?
So the question was about uh, intensiveness while training. Do you think in capoeira it's important to train an intensive training, or it's better to train uh, long and more variety?
Well, I think it really depends. The audience, when you train, and you probably train at least 6 hours a day, as I know you at least 6 hours. So if you train too intensive the first training, then the other training would be like not so useful. Okay,
Yeah.
let's say you train every day, you're gonna do some music, some takedown and kicks, some floreos, some acrobatics. So it's better you train medium intensity every training, then you'll be able to complete all training and you will be able to train tomorrow also. But now it's different with my students that train only 3 times a week. And these days, the classes are a bit funny because there's no roda. So what you have there, you have some expression in the body. You have some, mostly what you have is conditioning, conditioning technique and some expression. So I push them hard in this, in what we have. So we have intensive capoeira fitness, preparing the body to work hard. So we have shorter classes instead of having 2 hours class, what we have usually with a long roda and music, blah, 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 and everything, the ceremony. So we have 45, 1 hour, very intensive, very intensive. And at least you get satisfied, I did my workout today. There was no roda, but I'm so exhausted that when I see last 5 minutes, I say, thanks God, there's no roda today. I'm dead. so yeah, that's what I have now. This today it's so it depends a lot. So also when we're not in Corona time, it depends the audience, who's training, how many classes is going to do today. If it's an instructor course and you have like 5 classes a day, other than without the lectures, 5 physical training a day. So you cannot do it too intensive because then he will fall asleep in the lecture. Yeah. So sometimes it's more about learning, listening, being there, feeling the capoeira. Like when I'm going to Brazil. When I'm going to Brazil, I don't want to have one class very intensive. No, I want to do morning class, lunch, night class, and in between I'm gonna go to the beach, train a little bit of things that I saw. So I don't want it too intensive when I have the time. Mm-hmm. This is the answer.
Can you tell us about the time where you were training, the most intensive trainings for you, for your own personal?
Yeah. I think when I came back from Brazil, 94, only then I started training really intensive.
After training with Marcelo Caveria?
Yeah, I had some time with Marcelo Caveria that gave me some ideas of how to build my training and to do repetitions, hard repetitions on basics techniques, and I came back to Israel with much more information on what to work and how to work. Mostly what, because when I started capoeira here, there was not much information. We didn't have much information, not in terms of movement, and for sure not in strategy and tactic of the game. So we just drilled basic movements. We didn't have like sequences of takedowns and counterattacks or miujinho. We didn't have it. So when I came back from Brazil, I started, to really train intensive, and I think I was training from between something like 23 years old to 30 years old, at least 6 hours a day, at least. Wow. Yeah, but after 30 years old, I started slowly making my training more precise. Yeah, more precise. Not to train. This is something I want you to understand. When you have a fast mialua, when you're 25 years old, probably when you're 35 years old, you cannot improve it. If you trained well, when you're 25 years old, you trained well. Then when you're 35 years old, you will not kick faster. If you kick faster, it means that you didn't train well when you were 25. Uh-huh. So what I'm saying, when you're 30 years old, you have to think more on your training. It's not about how to kick faster and stronger and more repetition. No, the balance in your body between building and destroying the balance there changes, you know. Your body doesn't recover as well after training. You have to give longer rest, and the training have to be much smarter after 30 years old. So yeah, that was the big difference, that I started to low a little bit the intensiveness, but I still trained a lot, but more here.
Mm-hmm. And until what age you continued training acrobatics?
36 years old. I remember the day that in one day I stopped doing shows, capoeira shows. I did a lot of capoeira shows in my life, a lot, thousands probably. And I was 36 years old, and I had almost every night to do a capoeira show in restaurants and bars and stuff like this. And I felt it's not good to my body anymore. It's not that I can't. Actually, today I can also. I can do what I did, I can still do, but I don't feel comfortable. It's not. And another thing I want to tell you, sometimes it just doesn't look appropriate, you know, to your age, to your, you know, what you represent, you know. So I feel in my body that I can still do the movements, and I teach the movements, but I prefer not to train them. If today I train all my tricks, tomorrow probably I feel pain, you know, and I don't want it. Tomorrow I want to train capoeira and to do my movements. So I change my movements. I don't do the crazy flips I used to do, but I still train my movements, and I fit it to my age. You know, I make it appropriate to my age. So this is something I talk a lot about, you know, it's like you have to have the capoeira to each age, you know, to develop your capoeira with your life, you know. So capoeira, it's not the same all the time. You have to fit it to the right place, the right stage of your phase, large phase of your life, you know. Like you cannot give a kid's class to adult, but the opposite also. You cannot give an adult class to a kid. Each age, this is something we talk a lot about in the instructor course, you know it well, to fit the training to the right phase. And capoeira, you should feel the evolution, how it's, sometimes it's like this, but sometimes it's like this, but it changes with you, you know. Maybe maybe now you're jumping a lot. Now you're not jumping a lot, but you're going to do a lot of music. You're going to learn how to control the roda. You have a lot to train in capoeira all your life. Don't worry about it. All your life, you're going to have something to train to improve yourself. That's what's beautiful in capoeira. You're going to find what to work. And you feel now that you want to jump and kick fast and play a lot in the roda, go for it. But if you're 40 years old and you still feel like this, something is wrong there. Okay, but if you're 40 years old and you like good training, stretch your body, basic techniques, and you like the music and you enjoy the roda, and you can enjoy the roda even if you didn't play, then capoeira, then you find yourself in the right phase of your life in capoeira. Yeah, you want to play pandeiro when you're 45 years old. You want to sing. Let me sing once in the roda. Yeah, when you were a beginner, the teacher told you at least one time enter the roda. Yeah, now at least one time ask to sing a song in the roda. Yeah, then you're in the right progression, fit to your age. Yeah.
Do you think, I know now with the coronavirus, people are training much more. But other than that, do you think today's young generation trains as much as the last generation trained, or as much as you did when you were their age?
They train as much, but smarter.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So you think your future will be with even more amazing capoeiristas?
for sure, for sure. I see in my academy, I see every generation is better than the previous one. All the time I saw it. Yeah,
Okay.
but the thing is, sometimes you compare. You say, "Oh, but he's not as good as Manjingero." No, but when Manjingero was 20 years old, he wasn't as good. You know, and what I'm saying is smarter. They are more balanced. Yeah, why they are more balanced? Because the influential, my influential, and yours influential also, because your capoeira is much more mature, and my students and the students in the academy, they get more mature things to work on. Like they play berimbau much better than when they are 20 years old than what other teachers were when they were 20 years old, because they see you, they see me, what I'm training. Okay, so uh, you know, we make the road for them. We opened the road for them to learn much more things. The capoeira for them, it's much more rich than what we had before.
I know that Mestre Suasuna, I heard it somewhere, I don't remember where, but he had like his first generation, they were very duro and very aggressive. And from each generation, he saw what form did they get, and he changed his training. And from generation to generation, he shaved the diamond. So,
Yeah, first thing, what is something amazing about Mestre Asuna is over 80 years old. And if you go there to his academy, you're going to see these diamonds that you're talking about. Whenever you're going to go there, you're going to see a new generation of capoeiristas. This is something that I see as, as something to achieve also. I want to be there. I want to be in the place that always something happens in the academy. There's a new generation. If you're a teacher, then teach. Yeah, bring a new generation and create the you know. So be an artist and make the next generation as your art. Make better, teach better, learn from the mistakes, try to improve. And this is something Mestre Asuna always did. And you can see the evolution of his capoeira. You know, you can see. But it's not also only his capoeira, it's capoeira in general. Like there's a progress there. And the internet also helps a lot, you know. Sometimes you see a teacher that is not such a great teacher like Mestre Asuna is, but he's there and he's motivating his students, and they find the technique and they find the learning. Yeah, and if they have a good community, then they have a really nice capoeira there.
so I wanted to ask you about the several generation you created. What were the differences between then for today, other than the way they train, the way they play?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think first, I see myself as a teacher. Yeah, I was when I was young. I was not that I'm pretending to be very smart today, but I was stupid. You know, I did a lot of mistakes. As someone that building a community, as someone that teaching or educating. I was a kid. I was 20 years old. I wasn't thinking so much. It was all about big party, and training hard and being very achieving in capoeira, like to be who's good. And today I don't see it like this. I see the community is first thing, the education is first thing, and you know what? All the rest, if you have the education, the community, all the rest will grow inside. You don't have to need too much effort. It's always so. in the beginning, I think I did some mistakes, and today also I do mistakes. But all the time you try to learn and to improve. Yeah. When you start thinking that you're not doing mistakes, then it's your biggest mistake. Then you're not improving and you're not learning. So I think the big difference between the generation is really I'm there more thinking about connecting the people, making good energy between the people, not so about achieving and
So
yeah.
I was talking with Simba. I had a capoeira talk with Simba 3 days ago, and we were talking about this idea of wanting to achieve a higher level of game, of acrobatics. And when we were teenagers, this really motivated us to get into a high level of acrobatics because we
Yeah,
were competitive, both of us.
yeah,
I was watching his videos and I wanted to do like he did, and we were talking about uh, how his achievement, the his achievement important in capoeira, in sports, in competitive sports, it's super important. But what its place in capoeira?
Manjingueiro. Being competitive and to achieve things, it's to be human.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is one of the beautiful things in being human. You all the time striving, going forward all the time. And it wasn't only you and Simba. Maybe you saw the competition there, but it's everybody. It's everybody. We want to be tomorrow better than today. And this is what's beautiful. That's why you don't have to emphasize it so much in your teaching. Just emphasize giving a good place to be able to be competitive and feel good with it, to achieve things and feel comfortable and feel supported and feel loved. So as a teacher, I'm not worried about them being competitive. They are, but the competition is there below. It's
Uh-huh.
not up here. Up here, as a capoeira teacher, I see the community, the energy of the academy, the good relationships, and this word that we have only in Hebrew, it's lefargen. Probably we're the only people in the world who don't know what it means, but we have it in Hebrew to make other people feel good with their achievements. We have a word for it in Hebrew. No other language you have a word for it. To make people feel good with their achievements.
It's
Now,
similar
if you
to
have,
compliment.
it's
Similar.
yeah, in a way. But the thing is, when you get into your academy and you have this energy that everybody feels safe to give compliments to the others, honest, sincere compliments, then the competition is very, very nice. It's not like competition as achievements, yeah? Achievements. And this is the thing I think we as not only when you change the phase to be a teacher, not only a capoeirista as a teacher, you have your community, your group, your little group, doesn't have to
Uh-huh.
be big. Then this you have to think about. Don't worry about them wanting to achieve. Yeah, just give them a good stage to show what they have. All the rest, yeah.
So at the same idea, if we're talking now as teachers, I want to ask you about giving feedback while in the classes when with outside of the coronavirus from face to face. I know that you don't give a lot of negative feedback. You don't give a lot of criticism. when you give feedback to someone, you mostly tell them the positive stuff.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you about how what should be how should it be from negative to positive? Does the negative have any place or not at all?
I think, you know, it's like, when I would use the negative,
Right.
when you have a child, when you're gonna have a child,
Uh-huh.
and you see him run to the road after a ball. Yeah, doesn't look to the side, just run into the street. And you want him, in his memory, in his experience, to feel like as if he put his hand into the fire. Maybe there wasn't fire this day, but you want him to feel, yeah, I'm going to be negative. So you understand what I mean? I mean that
Yes.
when I see something that I say, no, don't do it, no. Yeah, maybe it's dangerous. Maybe it's dangerous to him or someone else. It's like a must, no, no, no. Then I will use a negative. Other than that, all the time I'm thinking of uh, of positive, just to create the motivation, because the negative take out all the motivation to do. Okay, so I hardly use it. I will use again the negative in very specific occasions, that the thing you say, wow, I cannot see it. It's against all rules. And like say, when they said, they asked me, did you hit your son? I said, no, I never hit him. Yeah, but when he ran to the street, I hit him, and I shouted at him in such a way that you will never forget it. For him, when he comes close to cross the street, it's like he's panicked. Whoa! So yeah, that's.
I have a question
Then
in this. Your answer made me think about this question. So my question is, when is uh, when is the time where it's a good idea to close the roda when it's get heated? So where's the limit? Where does it?
Manj, it's a very good question. It's something that I build a career on this question, because 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 capoeira was so violent all over the world in the 90s. And when people came here, they always said, wow, it's such fun to play in the roda in Israel. The game flows so nice. The energy is so good. People are so nice to each other. Because I didn't let it even start. When I see the energy, when you feel, and you can feel when the energy in the game changes. You don't have to see the violence. You feel that it's gonna be violent. You feel people, maybe it's one of my talents, but I feel it. Then I close it. I don't give it a room. But usually people say, let's see what's gonna happen. You hear it. I just let it a bit more to see what's gonna happen. Let them resolve the problem between themselves. No, if you with the birimbau, if you're the donu da casa, if you're the one responsible, you responsible also for the energy, not also only for the safety, but for the energy. It happened to you that you came to the roda and you felt, well, the energy is not nice. Not nice. Yeah, it happened to me many times. I went to a roda, and here my students, I tell them about it. They don't know what I'm telling, what I'm saying, because they never felt it. They never felt it. Okay, and you know what? I'm very happy because it's something that vanish almost. You don't. You see it less and less all over the world. Even in Brazil, less and less this bad vibe of bad competitive game, bad vibes. And
When I say a proofing ground, Do you know what I mean? In Hebrew, we can say chovat hochacha or something like that. So I think I want to ask something. I think it has a place in capoeira. Like it's like the most you feel as you don't want to go in, but you want to go in because now it's for real. And this is the biggest order of the year, but you're a little bit afraid, but maybe you have the best game ever. So
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I separate two things: excited and afraid. If you feel afraid to get injured, to be bullied, to be injured by violence, then it's bad. Then, for me, I turn around and go, I don't want to be part in this order. Or even if I will, it's like to see a fight, just stand around, see how people fight. But I'm not any interest for me in capoeira interest, no. But if I feel excited and I see, wow, what's a game, tight game, exciting game, you know, very close to each other, very challenging, but in a good way, that you're not afraid, but you feel the challenge. You want to get there to try to do your best. Then it's the positive thing. So you have to be able at the right moment to say, well, what kind of energy is it? Is it calling me because it's challenging in a nice way, or actually I feel frozen, afraid because really I can get hurt. I tell many times, I tell it about makulele show, when people do makulele show with fakao, with knives. And I say, do you think the audience is afraid? And yeah, they are afraid. And I tell you, yeah, they have a good reason to be afraid. Because out of 100 times you hit, one of the fakam will break and go into the audience, or one will hit the other person in the hand, or one will fall and on the fakam is going to fall on the fakam. There is a good reason to be afraid. Okay, so when you see good actors on the stage playing a knife fight, they don't need a knife, and you are afraid. Why are you afraid? Because they are good actors. There's a reason for you to be afraid. It's only a theater. It's only a movie, but you're still afraid. You know it's not for real, but you're still afraid. So this is this for me is a good order, that you're afraid, but there's no reason to be afraid, because they are good players, they are good actors. But if there's really, you see violence in the game, you see there is no control, and you are afraid, you have a good reason to be afraid. For me, it's the negative thing, and this energy I don't allow in my orders.
Farofa is asking something that I got to think about also. He says, what about when there's a good vibe in the Hoda, but because maybe the people know each other so much that they let each other hit and maybe a star, or I don't know. I don't know if it's a question. He was asking of your opinion about times where the vibe is good, but you're hitting without injuring, and time where the vibe is bad, but there's nobody's getting injured. Just the vibe is bad.
Yeah, the thing is like this, Farofa. I remember I had one generation, they used a lot the Ganshu, played a lot with Ganshu, Vingachiva, and they were really, really, really good. That came few masters from Brazil and told me, whoa, we done, the game is crazy, they kicking goal, so they're gonna kill each other. And I did not know what they are talking about, because the guys really had a good control. So for someone who came from the outside, it looks very, very frightening. But the guys that were playing, they were trained really well in this kind of a game, and they didn't feel the danger, and it wasn't dangerous. No one got hurt. So sometimes I go to a roda and I see people play, and the level is higher than the level that I can play. And I say, I imagine myself in this game. And I say, whoa, I cannot escape this kick. This kick is crazy. But all the other guys can. So you have to know also your place. I say, okay, in this roda, I cannot play. Or maybe I can play, but a different game. Okay, a different game, maybe I can, if they respect my game. So sometimes you can come to a roda and think that it's dangerous, and it is dangerous for you because you don't know to play the game. You're not trained for it. And it's not a place for you to play. You have to, this is something capoeirists have to know. Sometimes it's not for you to play now. Sometimes it's not a shame. People stop putting it, take it out for your mind. It's not shame to say, I'm not ready for this game. Don't worry. No one's gonna win a ticket to Brazil if he plays the game. No, there's no thing. So sometimes you say, whoa, this game, they are too athletic, they are too fast for me, and that's good, that's okay. And sometimes you come to a roda, you see people train, and they train with each other a lot. And they allow themselves to go to the limit because they know the limit, because they know the opponents, they know all the players in the roda, and you say, wow, they play like crazy. And you know what? You find out when you enter the game, it all will change. Sometimes they change the game because they don't know you. Maybe you will be dangerous for them. They don't know your moves. So sometimes you go there and play and you find out that the game changed. And sometimes you go there and you see, wow, they're really too fast, really too dangerous for me. I'm not ready for this kind of game. And you shake hands, you say, okay, that's too much for me. It's okay also.
I want to ask you.
I hope I answered the question. I'm not sure that I did.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. What is being a master for you, or how should a master be? Or maybe when you got your first degree master until now, what has changed? Any of these?
Well, what's to be a master is a big question. You had to prepare me first. Because you can write books about it, and we can talk all day long about it. I think when you see in the history of capoeira, there were many masters that didn't have students. Till today, you have it. And he's a capoeira master. There were masters that never entered the roda, only played berimbau, and they were masters. They were called masters. Okay, there were capoeira masters that only taught capoeira. There were ones only played. There were ones who played really well but didn't play instruments and didn't sing in the roda. So, what is a master in capoeira? It's something that you have to find for yourself. What kind of master you want to be? Okay. Mestre soon I asked him when I graduated the first generation of masters here in Israel, and I asked him, Mestre, do you think that they are ready? They immediately said, Edan, don't wait for people to die to give them the master degree. Interesting. So what you mean, Master? Are they good enough? Then he told me like this: how many doctors there are in the world? Thousands, hundreds of thousands of doctors. Does all these doctors are so great? Some of them, they are doctors and they don't practice medicine. Some of them only give lectures. Some of them really get patients, but they don't operate people or stuff like this. So some of them doing research but don't accept patients. So there's many kinds of doctors. So there's going to be your students going to be also masters or doctors in capoeira. Each one of them is going to be different. Each one of them. To be a doctor, you have to do 15 years of learning to get your doctor degree. Capoeira also, you do about 15 to 20 years of training. If you dedicate, you're going to have your degree. Now, what kind of a doctor you're going to be? Let's see. Only the future will show us what you bring with you. Some of the teachers will have few students, but will help the big community, will organize stuff, and they will find their importance in the community, in the world of capoeira. Some are going to be the ones that are going to teach everybody the new thing, or they're going to do a research on something, on the birimbau or in the whatever. And that's the thing about being a master. You know, it's something very abstract. That's why I don't ever judge or give you know, he's a good master, he's a bad master, he's a good capoeirista. No, each one has got his importance. And you know what? Never in my life I asked to be a master, to be called a master, to get a degree, this degree or another degree. Manjingero, many people, if they train capoeira to be a master, then they don't really have the love for capoeira. The master degree should come one day. If it doesn't come, it's also okay. You know, I never asked for never asked about my belt. Never. You know, Manjingero, what is the only worst thing? There's only one thing worse than to ask about your belt or degree. You know what it is?
What is it?
To get it because you asked for it. So
I know your student asked you, but it's because you forgot, not because.
That's very common.
Contramaster Shusha is asking. I'm gonna ask it in Hebrew because it's a hard question, and then I'm gonna maybe you only answer.
Yeah, let's try together. Yeah.
לפי אילו קריטריונים, איזה קריטריונים, או איך אתה תופס את הרעיון של קפואריסטה קומפלטו, האם הוא יכול להיות גם לא ברזילאי, למרות שהוא לא ברזילאי. הוא חושב שהוא לא. האם ברזילאי יכול להיות לא קפואריסט, האם לא ברזילאי יכול להיות קפואריסט שלם?
Okay.
ומה זה אומר קפואריסט שלם?
What it means to be a complete capoeirista. Yeah, what it means to be a complete capoeirista. You know, it's something, again, when I was younger in capoeira, it's something that I was really into it, you know, who is a complete capoeirista, and to bring him here to Israel, to find his secrets, and today, it's really connected to the previous question, you know. I don't say it like this. I believe that you can be a capoeira master without students. Something that I didn't. If you asked me a few years ago, I would say no. To be a capoeira master, you have to be generations of students. Why? Because I have generations of students. Maybe that's why I thought like this. Today, I don't think so. You don't have. You have to love capoeira, to be dedicated to capoeira, to do good things in capoeira, to do your best, and one day you're gonna be a capoeira master. Now, there are superstars in capoeira. There's this guy, my friend, Marcelo Finco. Well, he's a great capoeira player. He's a very good teacher also, but he's singing. God, he sings and plays berimbau so well. He's like a rock star. When he comes here to Israel, he's like a rock star. Okay, so maybe he doesn't have hundreds of students, but wow, this guy is amazing. I don't think, you know what, the answer for this question is where the world is going to. The world is going into being very, very good in only few things. In the past, people had to know a little bit of medicine, a little bit of nutrition, a little bit of hunting, a little bit of cooking. Today, you need just to know how to make bread, but the best bread. Then you will. It's not enough to be a doctor. You have to specialize in one thing. Then I think also in capoeira, yeah, you want to enjoy everything, but it's not about being good in everything. It's not about it. If you're well in everything, that's fine. That's great. But if you're not, find where you are significant. When you just play the heko well, really well, and every roda, everybody will want you there. So yeah, when I was younger, I thought I want to be a complete capoeirista, play the instruments, to fight, to jump, to do angola, to do regional and miujinho and everything. Play all the no. Today, no. Just enjoy the trip. Take off the pressure. Enjoy the trip. Be good in what you're talented also to be good in. This is something many people mistake. This is something I learned in my history in martial arts. You're gonna win your fight or your tournament, or you're gonna win with your strong side, your strong technique. So there's some people that train a lot what they're weak. They say, you have to train the weak chain, the weak ring in the chain. Train it, because the strength of the ring, of the chain, depends of the weakest ring, which sounds really convincing. But the truth is not. You're gonna win actually with your strong things. So emphasize training on your strong side. What is the strongest ring you have? With this one, you actually gonna win something. So if just going back to my friend Marcelo, if he will ask me, Edan, should I invest all my time now in training? I don't know what. No, I don't know. Invest in singing, because you do it so well. So invest in this. With this, you win. Okay. All the other things, just keep on enjoying. But yeah, I hope I answered the question.
I want to ask, we have 10 more minutes. I want to ask you 2 or maybe 3 more questions, and maybe we can do them shorter, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I guess everybody is liking what you're saying. Some are commenting. So my question is, have you ever thought about quitting in any phase?
Never.
Never, huh?
Never. Not in capoeira. Never. Not even close to it. No, never. But I do change things all the time. I do change. I change my training. I change my inspirations. Yeah, I change my inspirations all the time. I get inspired from one thing and I'm there. And then I get inspired for another thing and I'm going there. Yeah, this is the thing. But from capoeira, never. You know what? Before capoeira, I did many things, and I still love them today, and have them sometimes like a hobby. But in capoeira, every day I find something new that inspires me, and the capoeira is so rich and it's like it was built that you can improve yourself all your life. You're gonna find now, you know what I'm thinking. No, yeah, I'm a lot into percussion now. Yeah, I still train my movements. I improved my bananera this Corona days. Whoo, my bananera. I'm ready to compete with you, Manjingeo. But the thing is, you all the time you have to find what is right for your phase in capoeira, to train, to invest your time, to improve yourself. And when you go to sleep, you feel, today I did something to get forward, to go forward, to improve myself, to be better for tomorrow. And capoeira all the time gives it to me. I have it there in capoeira all the time. Okay.
My next question is, did you ever imagine that you're going to influence so many people all over the world?
Never.
Uh,
And I never thought it will be like
when
this.
did you
And
realize it?
I try to be humble also, and I don't think I'm such a big thing. I'm not so smart. I'm happy to consult to other people with my experience, but still I always tell them, this what I think today, but it doesn't mean that it's the truth. I know it today that because yesterday I thought about something that it was a truth, and today I know that it's not. So I stop being arrogant and sure in myself, and when I'm enjoying that I have friends and people that I can help and support. But other than this, I don't take too much credit.
The last question I wanted to ask you, so I wanted to know something that wasn't, you never thought about quitting, but maybe a challenge. I know you had many challenges along the way, and Fafushu also asked a question about challenges that you met.
Yeah, along the way you have a lot of challenges, in your capoeira journey. I didn't have this challenge that told me that I said, "Oh, I'm gonna quit capoeira." No, I had some challenges that I said, "I'm gonna change my approach. I'm gonna change my focus. I'm gonna change things." And well, to get into the challenges I had in capoeira, we need another hour at least. And at least, it's stories and stories and stories about difficulties I had in capoeira, and the way that I found, just how to improve my journey, So
I want you, for the last thing, I want you to maybe remember a game you played with any capoeirista, maybe like a well-known capoeirista, and like a game you really remember. I will say a couple of stuff you can think for a moment. I want to invite everybody to watch the other capoeira talks. We're gonna have Mestre Mascara, and join the Capoeira Life Facebook group. There you can find all the details about capoeira talks and also free live capoeira classes with me. And I want to thank everybody for being here. And we're gonna have the last story from Mestre Edan, and we're gonna finish with that.
Okay. So there were a lot of games that that are in my mind. I don't think I told you about this one. I think it was 97. Yeah, it was 97. I was with Mestre Noah and Mr. Cueca. We were in Rio de Janeiro, We went to fewer different academies there, and then we went to visit Mestre Tony Vargas, his academies, and I was like, I wanted very much to meet him. I had his cassette, and I was really excited. And he was so nice. He was such a nice guy, and when we came and he let us in, with open arms, and it was, we did the class, and then there was a roda, and to the roda appeared, in the beginning of the roda appeared Mestre Peixinho, who is Mestre Tony Vargas' master, very well-known master, Mestre Peixinho, that died a few years ago from cancer. And MS Peixinho is like, he's like a very tough character, He's a good person, a great person, but have this posture of really tough. And like Mestre Tony Vargas is starting singing a ladainha and calling me to sit under the berimbau, and immediately Mestre Peixinho jumps and cocoria in front of me. I was in my 20s probably, and he was already a very, very famous master. And Mestre Tony Vargas is singing one of my favorites, do, 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 minha alma livre, berimbau me libertou. And I was like, the energy was so strong. And we were playing a really nice game. And I had my tricks, really some really good tricks already in my game. And I went into kind of Mialu Diffrent that opens for him to go for rasteira, and I will go for vingativa on both of his legs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just opened, and the rasteira was so fast. And when you fall and you smile, you're so happy. And there's few things about it that I want to say. First, he was so fast in this rasteira that I don't think that if I wanted to give the vingativa, I could have. But thinking back, again, in the 90s, capoeira, the much older master, very respected, calling me to play with him. And if I take him down with the vingativa, I'm happy that I was the one falling. Although I don't think I could have taken him down. It's like when you throw a net for a fish, how you say, you're fishing and the fish is faster than you, it grabs the bait and it goes away. So I was on the floor and I was smiling, so happy. It was my happiest falling takedown that I got in my life. And and it was a good lesson also. Sometimes when you make this bait for someone and you don't pull the trigger, you're gonna fall. But if in this case, it's better not to pull the trigger, and it's better to fall. Again, not taking nothing out of Mestre Peixinho, that was such higher level than me, and probably I got my lesson.
Thank you, Mestre Edan. It was amazing to have you, such a humble person. I hope much more people will get to know you better, maybe because of these and other talks you're gonna have. I'm always learning for you.
In the near future, I'm gonna open a way for people to be part in my academy from long distance. Like it's gonna be like a website It's going to call Academia do Mestre Edan, and it's going to be my training, my ideas, my capoeira, and a lot of information, and it will be with some Zoom training, and wait for it.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Stay
Madriguero.
safe.
It was fun.
Thank you everybody for watching.
If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more capoeira content, I recommend you watch one of these videos. Axé.